community garden, in conjunction with some of the military wives over in Deepcut, I've got a space at the Hampton Court Flower Show, which is actually quite amazing, because I'm led to understand that it's not something that normally community gardens don't get spaces there. Tell us a little bit about it, Kate, and what an achievement this is.
Well, you're right, Paul. It is quite difficult to get a spot at Hampton Court Flower Show, but we applied. We were led to believe there was some funding coming from the Army. We did a little TV programme with Linda Bellingham for ITV a while ago with the Army wives, highlighting the fact that they have to move all the time.
Yes.
And so they can't really do much to their gardens. If they make it look lovely, they have to change it back to exactly how it was before they go, which is a real pain. So a group came up to me and said they want to learn how to plant things in containers, how to grow edible food that is cheap, easy, efficient, and they can either take with them or start again at no great expense in their next place. So we did a 6-week course. Somebody put it in a paper, somebody picked it up from ITV, and they rang us and they came down and filmed us. And Linda Bellingham said, "Oh, it's like a movable feast, this is." And that kind of made my brain go ka-ting. And we kind of floated the idea around with the council and with the Army, and they said, "You know what, let's go for it, let's apply, we've got nothing to lose." So we applied with the garden design, lots of people were involved in it. Although it was my actual initial design, there was lots of input from the Army wives. Sent it off to the RHS, and the RHS told us we've been shortlisted. Took a long time, actually. So we were on.
These things do, don't
yeah,
they?
we were on tenterhooks, and then when was it? March, end of March, we were told definitely got a place, and good luck.
Wow, I mean, that's just such an achievement, really.
Yeah.
I mean, because the Hampton Court Flower Show, not that I've ever been, but I've seen stuff on the telly, all the coverage and in magazines and stuff.
Yeah.
Some of the gardens they have there are just unbelievable.
Well, we're not quite that. We're not quite there yet. I mean, we are called a summer garden, which is one of the smaller gardens. They used to just be called the small gardens. So we're not a great big show garden that's costing hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds. So it's quite a small space. We're first timers, so they're not gonna risk too much with us.
No.
But
Not going to give you centre stage.
No, we're hoping they're not going to kind of chuck us in between a kind of old trade stand. But so we're still waiting actually to hear where exactly our plot is going to be.
But it's the uniqueness of the idea as well, and the sustainability of it that is the most important thing, I think.
Absolutely. I think that's what appealed to them. It appealed that it was Army wives, that there was a concept behind it. Everything about our garden is kind of, it's a bit quirky, got a sense of humour, it's movable, it's about eating, it's about communities getting together, growing things, and we're going to have a big kind of table in the middle with a big feast on it. We've got a giant knife and fork sculpture being made, which people are donating knives and forks for.
Yeah, so if people have got, the council are appealing for anyone who's got any old knives and forks.
Yes, must be. We need knives and forks, not plastic, preferably kind of stainless steel sort. But the main thing we're really after, and this is where the Army comes in, is Army boots. We want old Army boots, because we're having the whole perimeter of the garden has got Army boots filled with flowers, filled with yellow flowers, to represent the yellow ribbon of hope.
Yes.
That the Army wives often will tie around a tree
when their husbands are serving and stuff.
Absolutely, and 2 of my volunteers from Deepcut, one of their husbands is out in Afghanistan at the moment, and another one, and these are both regular, they come every week and help me with lots of workshops. Another one, her husband's going out in June, so it's going to be very pertinent to them at the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so we're going to have a big yellow ribbon in planting, and it's going to represent that, and we're going to get Army wives, whether they're involved in the garden or not, to write something on a piece of yellow ribbon, and we're going to tie it on the fence in the garden for the show.
It's going to be fantastic. It really is.
I hope so. It's scary. It really is, because we're amateur. You know, it's an amateur thing. We haven't got great big warehouses of greenhouses full of plants with automatic watering systems. You know, I've got a little greenhouse with a paraffin heater that absolutely stinks. You know, I'm going out every day, every night, covering, uncovering, taking things in, taking things out. It's been the worst spring ever to want to grow anything. It really has.
Yeah, well, we're going to have a little walk around now.
Okay.
And have a look at some of the stuff that you've got so far. I mean, it is only just spring.
Everything's only just springing. It really is. We're about a month behind, so really we should see lots of lush growth in the garden, but it's just not there at the moment. So be kind.
Yeah, well, hopefully as well, the Residents Network will come to the Hampton Court Flower Show and show off the garden.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's open to anybody. It's local, you know, it's not that far, and it's a fun show, and there's some fantastic plants to buy anyway, and some great ideas for your own garden.
Excellent. Okay, Kate, thanks a lot. It's all beginning for the Hampton Court Flower Show.
All a lot later than we would have hoped because of the weather, but some are looking a bit leggy. But
what are these things here?
We've got all sorts. We've got interesting varieties of tomato. We've got a black crim. We've got a pepper called sweet chocolate. A chili pepper called lemon drop, which is really, really hot and tastes of lemons.
Right.
A lot of the varieties of vegetables we're using are interesting varieties that you won't get hold of.
These are potatoes, right?
These are called annias.
Annias. Oh yes, I've had those.
Really
they're lovely,
nice
aren't
salad
they?
potatoes, yeah, and they're good to grow in a container as well.
Right.
So, but really, they should be planted out by now. But again, it's been so cold. We've got all sorts. It's all just a bit interesting, not just what you can go and pick up at Asda or Tesco's, or even in the garden centre at Long Acres.
And this greenhouse. I mean, it's only a tiny greenhouse. It's amazing, really, people what they can do with a limited budget.
We're going to pack it in. This greenhouse was, I can't remember how much it was. It wasn't, you know, it was cheapish, but it was a nightmare to put up.
Oh, was it?
It came with about a 200-page booklet, all in Japanese.
You got to be a PhD in quantum physics to work it out.
But you know, you can buy a little kerosene heater for 15 quid, and that keeps the frost out. So you can put things. And what I've done is I've put a little greenhouse within a greenhouse. Yeah. So you've got the younger seedlings, and you can see sow things in there, and it just keeps them a bit warmer and a bit more humid as well. Right. And that cost £5 from Wilkinson's.
There you have it.
So it's not an expensive thing to do. Packet of seeds costs you £1.50. You know, anyone can do it. Right. And start with salads if you want to have a go. Really simple. Radishes, lettuce, rockets, spring onions. But make sure you grow things you like. No point sowing 100 Brussels sprouts on cabbages if no one likes them in your family. No, that's my advice.
Absolutely. Brilliant. There's some free gardening advice from Gardener's World only. Exclusive.